Hello everyone, welcome back to Blues, your source for all things Everton. I'm Jake Pelton. I'm here to talk about Everton's player ratings from a fantastic win at Goodison. Yeah, really needed. A game that I just had a good feeling about going into it. I mean, I'm not one for superstitions or anything like that, but I had noticed that we beat Palace 3-0 after beating them, obviously 3-2 to stay up. We stayed up against Bournemouth, sunny October day at Goodison again, and we've won 3-0 again. But yeah, I just had a good feeling about it, and I think, it's been an interesting week because, Dyche has rubbed some people the wrong way, the way he talks about the performances and the XG and the numbers and all that. And I get people want to see tangible results on the pitch. I understand it, but I agree with him largely. I didn't agree that last week was a good performance. I didn't agree with that. I thought it was a good 20 minutes and then a pretty crap 70. But I agree with him that things come, and if the signs are there, then a lot of the time you pull through. Not all the time, obviously. It's not the be all and end all and all the rest of the usual carry on. But I think today the proof was very much in the pudding that Everton have been playing well at home. They haven't been putting the chances away. Today, they got a bit of luck in terms of the first goal was a mistake. The second goal is another mistake and not a fluke, but it's like a 1 in 70 chance or whatever. And then the third one, the third one was just a good goal. To be fair, I mean, it was actually quite unlucky that it didn't go in to begin with. We had a host of other chances. We were just by far the better team, and I really do think, what he's talked about all week, and to be fair for most of the season, came true today. And let's just hope it carries on. That's 3 wins from 4. Get a nice break now. Players like Harrison, McNeil, Calvert-Lewin, they get a bit of a rest. They can come back fitter, stronger. Hopefully just his injury isn't too bad. Then we go into the derby, and we'll see what happens there. But anyway, we'll move into the ratings now. Pickford, I always say if a goalie keeps a clean sheet, they're going to get a 7, 9 times out of 10. Made a couple of great saves towards the end to give him an 8. I thought he was really good, and he thoroughly deserves to keep a clean. So really pleased with him. Right back, Ashley Young. I thought first half again pretty pedestrian, pretty poor. Gets booked early on again. I mean, there were people around me who were really fuming with that. I know it was his first foul, but cynical foul, stopping an attack because he can't get back because his position is not great, and obviously because he is 38 years old. Means a bit like Brentford. I couldn't argue with that booking for me. But second half, I thought he got better. So I'll give him a 7. Left back, Ty Mikalenko, one of his best games for Everton. That it still wasn't show-stopping. It still wasn't perfect. But just one thing I did like is I think it was Tavernier coming in on his left foot, and so often Mikalenko lets a player come in on their strong foot, on their left foot, on the right, and I just hate it. But first half, he gets him, puts in a big tackle on him, and I didn't really see him get past him again after that, to be fair. Good showing from him. And, I've said again on here the last few weeks that a fullback is my number one priority for January. If we've got any money to spend, I think Everton need to get someone in that left back in particular. But he played well today, giving him an 8. At centre half, James Tarkowski, I thought he was good as well. Just rock solid. He slows it down when it needs to be done. He keeps it calm, and he just does his job. And I thought he was solid up against Solanke. He was not the easiest striker in the league to negotiate. Kiefer Moore comes on as well. Didn't even see that sub take place. Only towards the end of the game I saw he was playing. I don't know what happened there, but he did well again and giving him an 8 as well. Next to him, Jared Brandthwaite off his back of his new contract. Big cheer from the crowd, which I'll always love to see. I mean, the kid just doesn't get out of his first gear, does he? Never mind second gear. He's just an absolute Rolls Royce for centre-back. He's just... I'm not saying he's perfect. Again, he committed a couple of fouls. But that was really it. It wasn't like he's getting beaten and he's getting beaten up. And everything is just so nonchalant, and I love it. And, I mean, he's definitely, for my money, better than John Stones was at his age. In terms of, again, I keep going about his physical characteristics, his speed and his height and how two-footed he is. But I never saw John Stones make things look this easy in terms of everything was always a little bit frantic, with Stones a little bit more frantic anyway. I know he's obviously really good on the ball, and he's better on the ball than Branthwaite is, but Branthwaite's just super cool. I've given him a 9. I thought he was excellent, and he's just... To have such an upgrade on a player from Michael Keane and, you know, Connor Cody slightly above him, and even like Gary Mina, who's a better defender, but physically and everything else, he's a million miles behind Branthwaite. To have not actually had to sign him is just brilliant, and that's why Everton need to be scouting in these lower leagues and getting these kind of players in. I know everyone else wants them, but he's just fantastic, so I've given him a 9. Going into midfield, late change to the lineup. Onana, a couple of rumours as to why he was dropped from the squad, from the first 11. Jesse Gay ended up getting injured, and I was really worried about that, because Jesse Gay's the only player who sniffs out danger, gets out the pitch, puts in big tackles. He's not as good as he was, I know that, but I thought Amadou Onana performed really well today, grew into the game. Again, not perfect, obviously, but Jesse Gay definitely is an average. He gives the ball away quite a lot. I say he's not as sharp as he was. Definitely feels like he gives away more fouls than he used to. But yeah, Onana was just excellent and really helped shield that back four. And as I say, grew into game by the end, he was just taking the piss. He really was. So I've given him an 8 as well. Next to him, James Garner, fantastic. His best game in the Everton shirt by some way. And as I say, he's had probably half a dozen really good games for Everton by now, I'd say, since he's come into the team. But yeah, that was the best of them as far as I'm concerned. Wins the ball back at the first goal. Lovely finish. Now it looks a bit central of the goal, but he gives the goal of the eyes. Neto goes to one side and he just slots it home. Really good. Some fantastic delivery from corners. He was all action today. He was on the edge of our box, on the edge of their box, winning tackles. A couple of lovely passes, a couple of shots. As I say, his crossing was good from set plays and otherwise. Yeah, just his best game for Everton, I'd say. All-round action midfielder, the kind of midfielder a certain club in Manchester could probably do with right now. But yeah, I'm just so glad he's ours. And you know, we had 8 English players playing for us today, and you know, with him and Branthwaite in particular, in terms of young English talent, both on the Euros and some of the under-21 Euros, I hope they're going to be real fixtures of our team for years to come. I thought they were both excellent today. I've given James Garner a 9 as well. Next up, midfield, Abdoulaye Doucouré. I mean, someone who sat next to my mate in the match today said he can't kick a footy, but I just love him. And it's spot on. I'd describe him as the best, worst player we've had for a while, because on the ball, he's limsy, he's gangly, he's a bit pedestrian at times, his touch isn't great. He doesn't, he can't score from range, he doesn't accept pieces, there's so many limitations to his game, but in the box, he's a cold-blooded killer. He's like a striker. He's like a target man. His movement's fantastic. He can find the net. He can score headers. He can score, as a predatory goals. He can lash one in from, 18 yards or closer, or slightly further in some particular games. I just think he's really good, and I'm really pleased for him, because I can't remember talking about this last week or not, but the thing with Abdoulaye Doucouré is he was good under Ancelotti. He was very good under Benitez before he got injured. Lampard was a poor spell for him, and then he's been fantastic under Dyche. I think that's his 8th goal since Dyche has come in, which for a centre mid who was barely playing before this, he's unleashed him. And yeah, I'm just super pleased for him, because I think he deserves this from the way that things ended under the last manager. And he's made him a real asset again, which is great to see. I've given him a 9 as well. I said there was 3 or 4 players who were at a very good level today. Dominic Calvert-Lewin on the left, slightly below that, but a good shift from him. You can tell by the end he was goosed, as he has been the few games he's played this season. Obviously, he's just getting back up to speed. He only played, I think, maybe 2 of the friendlies or whatever, or 3 of the friendlies. So he's just getting back up to full speed. Again, some good crosses today. A couple of good shots. Chips the ball in for the 3rd goal. We won't get an assist for it, but we all know he did well there. And yeah, I've given him an 8. I thought he was good today. On the right, Jack Harrison, given him an 8.5. I thought he went off after sort of 75 minutes, so perhaps slightly lower, but his goal is just ridiculous. I mean, the technique on that is absurd. I had no idea what went on because I thought it was me found the goalie like it was against Fulham. I mean, you see shots and thinking that could well be going in this, when it hits the bar, you're like, oh, it was very close, and then it's at the, because I'm on the Gladys Street, so it's the underside of the bar down, and you see it hit the net, and you're like, that is absurd. What a goal. And yeah, again, I'm really pleased with him because to come back from injury, he had such a weird off season, whether it be with Leeds or Villa or us. But yeah, he's getting up to full fitness. Break's going to come at a good time for him, and yeah, he's going to force away into this team, I hope, and more performances like that. He should have had a second goal, but I think it actually hit the fella's hand on the line, didn't it? But the coy last in anyway, so it didn't really matter. But yeah, really pleased with Jack Harrison, and I thought he played well. And then up front, Dominic Calvert-Lewin, I've just tweeted before saying that, the facial injury he got at Villa, while there was a selection of fans, obviously it wasn't many, but there was a selection of fans who booed him off. In fact, he obviously commented on it, Dad's commented on it. The away fans get a lot of respect from Everton fans, but the ones who did that were very much in the wrong. He had loads of support, obviously, and for the large majority, we're now being rewarded for giving them the patience, giving them the support, backing them all the way. And today, I think that is one of, if not the best game he's played in front of a crowd, because obviously during lockdown was when he was at his peak in terms of goal scoring, but I just thought he was fantastic today. Whether that be flicking balls on, chesting it down, bringing others into play, going past people, making good runs. Had a header that hit the bar, which I actually thought was McNeil in the game. I don't know. I remember thinking that was really weird. Why is McNeil getting up so high from that cross? As I say, it was in the park and it's game over for me. But just everything about his game today was fantastic. His all-round game was excellent. He deserved a goal. I thought he was going to get one in the second half, and it just didn't happen. But his confidence must be up here, which is brilliant because it's been on the deck for 2 years pretty much. I'm just made up for Dom because this should never have happened. He should have not been forced to play as much at the start of Benitez's reign. He then shouldn't have been rushed back in Benitez's reign. He then shouldn't have had to be rushed back for Lampard. He then shouldn't have to be rushed back for Dyche. But because of everything, it's what's happened. And I'm just really pleased for him now. And I just hope, because he looked a bit ginger, he was walking a bit gingerly towards the end, but I think he was fine. It seemed like he was. That's obviously good if that's the case, but yeah, just super pleased for him, and he played really well today. Better when Schmidt came on, but they weren't on for long enough to have an impact. I've given Patterson a 7.5. Looked good going forward. He put in a couple of decent balls and good runs. You never get that from him, so I was pleased there. Defensively he was sound as well, but I was pleased for him to come on and do that. So yeah, excellent stuff. Really good results. Obviously, it'll all be touched on in the other post-match stuff. But what a fantastic result to go into a break and then the derby. And I just a final word on the manager. I just think we're going to lose, a relatively high amount of the games you think we're probably going to lose away at Arsenal, home to Arsenal, United, City, all these games. We're probably going to lose most of those, and that's just where we are right now. We're going to win some of them as well. Brighton, Arsenal, we've got to draw with Chelsea, these kind of results. But I think we will win a good proportion of the games we should win. And we should have won a couple more this season if it wasn't for bad finishing and bad refereeing. But we will lose the occasional games that we probably shouldn't, like Luton, like going back to last season, like Fulham. Obviously, there was extenuating circumstances for that game as well. But you get what I'm saying. I just think the manager never gets too high, never gets too low, and that's just where we've got to be, as far as I'm concerned. I'm a big believer in this manager. I think Everton played fantastically well today and really deserved the 3 points. And I think there'll be a lot more games like this if we just keep the faith, just stick with it. And yeah, I think he'll keep our heads firmly above water and hopefully get us out the woods and we can start to look forward. But it's a long old season. I said all this after we beat Palace this time last year, and then we ended up, being in a real sticky situation. So let's see what happens. I just hope we get a bit of luck, and then obviously we're going to the derby in a couple of weeks and we'll see what happens there. But thanks very much for listening. Let me know your thoughts down below. Make sure you give us a like, subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Nice one.